The contractor outer rim of the Andromeda spiral had always been a powder keg, waiting for a spark. Two major civilizations dominated this region of space, each as proud as they were powerful, each convinced of their righteous claim to the contested star systems that lay between their territories. The crystalline hegemony represented everything elegant and deadly about advanced warfare. Their ships gleamed like polished diamonds in the void, their hulls grown rather than built from living crystal matrices that could repair damage in real time. The hegemony valued honor above all else, viewing combat as an art form and diplomacy as weakness. High Archon Zephyr, their supreme leader, stood 7 feet tall with skin that resembled fractured quartz, refracting light in mesmerizing patterns when agitated. On the opposite side of the contested zone sprawled the Molten Republic, an industrial powerhouse that had carved civilization from the hearts of active volcanoes. Their vessels looked like floating foundries, all exposed piping and glowing heat exchangers, built for function over form. The Republic measured success in production quotas and resource extraction rates. Prime Minister Corax, their elected leader, possessed skin like cooled lava rock and eyes that glowed with the heat of his homeworld's core. For 3 standard years, these two giants had circled each other like prize fighters, their dispute centered on a cluster of 7 star systems rich in trilithium and exotic matter. The crystalline hegemony claimed ancestral rights dating back millennia, while the Molten Republic argued that their advanced mining techniques could extract resources without environmental damage, benefiting the entire sector. Ambassador Quillen of the Galactic Trade Consortium had attempted mediation 17 times. Each session ended the same way, with crystalline representatives walking out in offense at some perceived slight, or Republic delegates storming off when their economic proposals were dismissed as merchant thinking. The neutral species watched nervously as both sides began massing fleets along their borders, 3 months before the situation reached its breaking point. An encrypted message arrived at the headquarters of Terran Defense Solutions on Lunar Station. Captain Sarah Chen, a veteran of the Centauri pacification and the founder of humanity's most successful private military company, reviewed the contract proposal with growing interest. The crystalline hegemony offered an impressive sum, 50 million galactic credits for a 6-month security contract. They needed experienced mercenaries to demonstrate the superiority of the hegemony's cause in what they termed a limited engagement to preserve honor. The contract included performance bonuses and salvage rights, standard terms for this type of work. Chen forwarded the proposal to her senior staff and scheduled a planning meeting for the following day. That evening, however, a second encrypted transmission arrived through different channels. This one bore the industrial seal of the Molten Republic. Prime Minister Corax's government offered 60 million credits for what they described as defensive military consultation during a period of external aggression. The Republic wanted human expertise to protect their mining operations and demonstrate their commitment to peaceful resource development. Captain Chen stared at both contracts for a long moment, then reached for her secure communicator. Rodriguez, Vasquez, Thompson. Emergency meeting in Conference Room Alpha. We have a situation. Admiral Marcus Rodriguez arrived first, his weathered face bearing the scars of 40 years in space. Dr. Alina Vasquez followed, her tablet already displaying xenocultural analysis charts. Commander Jake Thompson completed the group, his tactical mind already working through fleet deployment scenarios. Ladies and gentlemen, Chen began, activating the holographic displays. We have what you might call a unique business opportunity. Both sides of the crystalline molten conflict want to hire us. Thompson whistled low. Same war, different paymasters. That's a new one. The contracts are structured differently, Chen continued, but they're essentially asking us to fight each other. The hegemony wants us to prove their superiority through combat. The Republic wants us to defend their mining rights. If we take both contracts and show up on opposite sides... Galactic incident, Rodriguez finished grimly. The kind that starts sector-wide wars and ends with humans being blacklisted from every civilized system. Dr. Vasquez studied her cultural analysis, data. There might be another way to look at this. Both species valued different aspects of conflict resolution. The crystalline hegemony sees battle as a form of communication, a way to establish hierarchy and respect. The Molten Republic views conflict as an inefficient allocation of resources that should be resolved through practical means. So they're not actually incompatible, Chen mused. They just don't understand each other's languages. Exactly. The hegemony interprets the Republic's economic arguments as dismissive of their cultural values. The Republic sees the hegemony's honor demands as primitive posturing. Neither side is wrong from their own perspective. Rodriguez leaned forward. What are you thinking, Captain? Chen smiled, the expression that had made her fortune in the mercenary business. I'm thinking we take both contracts, but instead of fighting each other, we give both clients exactly what they're paying for. I'm not following, Thompson admitted. The hegemony wants to demonstrate their superiority through combat. The Republic wants to protect their investments through practical security measures. What if we could accomplish both objectives simultaneously? Dr. Vasquez's eyes lit up with understanding. A controlled engagement. Something that satisfies the hegemony's honor requirements while proving the Republic's defensive capabilities. More than that, Chen continued, warming to the idea. What if we could show both sides that they're stronger together than apart? That their different approaches to the same problem could complement each other? Rodriguez studied the fleet manifests. We have enough ships to field 2 credible forces. If we coordinate carefully, we could stage something that looks like genuine combat while actually demonstrating cooperative principles. The key would be the reveal, Thompson added, his tactical mind engaged. We'd need to time it perfectly. Make sure both sides understand what we're really offering. Chen activated the contract acceptance protocols. Dr. Vasquez, I need complete cultural profiles on both species leadership. I want to know what motivates them, what they fear, what they respect. Rodriguez, prepare deployment orders for 60% of our available fleet. Thompson, start working on combat scenarios that look impressive but minimize actual damage. What about the contracts themselves? Rodriguez asked. Technically, we'll be fulfilling both, but not in the way either client expects. The hegemony contract specifies demonstrating superiority through limited engagement. The Republic contract calls for defensive consultation during external aggression. We'll be doing exactly what we're being paid for, just not in the way they anticipated. Dr. Vasquez looked up from her tablet. There's significant risk here, Captain. If either side feels deceived or manipulated, the diplomatic fallout could be severe. Humans are still establishing our reputation in this sector, which is exactly why this could work, Chen replied. We're not bound by the same cultural expectations that trap the hegemony and Republic. We can afford to take risks. They can't offer solutions they can't see. Over the following weeks, 2 human fleets departed from different ports, maintaining strict communication silence to preserve the illusion of separate contracts. The force assigned to the crystalline hegemony consisted of elegant vessels with polished hulls and ceremonial weapon arrays designed to appeal to the aliens' aesthetic sensibilities. The ships supporting the Molten Republic appeared more utilitarian, with visible armor plating and industrial-grade defensive systems. Both alien factions were impressed by their human contractors' professionalism. The hegemony appreciated the formal military protocols and respect for hierarchy that Admiral Rodriguez demonstrated during their briefings. The Republic valued the detailed economic analysis and resource optimization plans that Captain Chen presented to their industrial committees as the human fleets took their positions in the contested star systems. Neither alien faction suspected they were about to witness something unprecedented in galactic military history. The appointed day arrived with both alien fleets arranged in perfect battle formation, their hired human forces positioned between them like chess pieces awaiting the first move. High Archon Zephyr stood on the crystalline bridge of his flagship, watching the Republic's vessels through tactical displays that refracted his image into rainbow patterns. 3 star systems away, Prime Minister Korax monitored heat signatures and energy readings from his industrial command ship, his molten eyes glowing with anticipation. Neither leader expected what happened next. The human flagships from both sides suddenly broke formation, their drives igniting simultaneously as they moved toward the center of the battlefield. The alien commanders watched in confusion as the 2 vessels approached each other, slowing to a stop mere kilometers apart in the vast emptiness between the opposing fleets. "What are they doing?" General Thane demanded from his position beside the High Archon. The crystalline military commander's honor-bound nature made him suspicious of any deviation from established combat protocols. On the Republic side, Industrial Coordinator Melax voiced similar concerns. This wasn't in their tactical briefing. Are the humans experiencing equipment failure? The answer came moments later when both human flagships established a communication link that broadcast on all frequencies. Captain Chen's image appeared on every screen in both fleets, her expression calm and professional. High Archon Zephyr, Prime Minister Korax, distinguished leaders of both our client states. I am Captain Sarah Chen of Terran Defense Solutions. Before we proceed with the contracted engagement, I believe there are several matters that require clarification. Admiral Rodriguez joined the broadcast from his own bridge. My colleagues and I have reviewed both contracts extensively. We've discovered something that I believe will interest all parties involved. Dr. Vasquez appeared on a third channel, her xenocultural expertise lending authority to her words. In our analysis of this conflict, we've identified a fundamental miscommunication between your civilizations. You're not actually fighting over incompatible goals. High Archon Zephyr's crystalline features reflected his confusion and growing anger. Humans, you were contracted to demonstrate the superiority of the hegemony through honorable combat. These delays are not acceptable. Prime Minister Korax's volcanic temperament flared equally hot. Our agreement specified defensive consultation and practical security measures. What is the meaning of this theatrical display? Captain Chen smiled. The expression that had closed 1,000 business deals were fulfilling both contracts simultaneously. But first, allow me to present some information that wasn't included. In your original intelligence briefings, the main screen shifted to display resource extraction data, economic projections, and cultural analysis charts. The 7 contested star systems contain approximately 14 billion tons of trilithium, an exotic matter. Using current crystalline extraction methods, the yield would be roughly 40% of available resources over a 20-year period. Republic industrial techniques could extract 85%, but would require significant infrastructure investment. Dr. Vasquez continued the presentation. However, combining both approaches would yield 97% extraction efficiency while preserving the cultural and environmental values important to both civilizations. Furthermore, Admiral Rodriguez added, the defensive capabilities of crystalline vessels complement Republic industrial security needs perfectly. Your combined fleets would be the most formidable force in this sector. High Archon Zephyr's anger began to shift toward curiosity, though his pride remained wounded. You suggest that the hegemony should subordinate itself to merchant interests. Not subordinate, Chen replied smoothly. Led through example. The hegemony's superior military expertise would guide and protect joint mining operations. The Republic's industrial efficiency would ensure maximum resource yields for both parties. Prime Minister Corax's practical nature engaged despite his irritation. The economic projections are impressive, but the political complications are manageable, Dr. Vasquez interrupted gently. If both sides approach this as equals, contributing different but equally valuable expertise. Commander Thompson joined the communication from his tactical station. I've run combat simulations, assuming various threat scenarios. A combined hegemony Republic fleet using coordinated tactics would be essentially unbeatable by any realistic opposition. The silence that followed stretched across space like a held breath. On both flagships, alien leaders consulted with their advisors, running calculations and considering possibilities they had never contemplated. Finally, High Archon Zephyr spoke. The honor of the hegemony demands acknowledgement of our superiority. How would this partnership address such requirements? Through demonstrated excellence, Chen replied. Instead of proving superiority over the Republic, you would prove superiority over the challenges of resource extraction and system defense. Your military prowess would be legendary throughout the sector. Prime Minister Corax added his concerns. The Republic's economic interests must be protected. We cannot accept arrangements that diminish our industrial output. The projected yields increase your output by 30% while reducing operational costs by 40%, Admiral Rodriguez noted. That's not diminishment, that's optimization. Dr. Vasquez brought up cultural comparison charts. Both civilizations value achievement, just through different metrics. The hegemony measures success through honor and excellence in challenging endeavors. The Republic measures success through efficiency and productive output. Joint mining operations would provide both an honorable challenge for crystalline forces and optimal productivity for Republic industry. The implications began to sink in across both fleets. Officers and administrators who had prepared for war started seeing possibilities for prosperity instead. General Thane was the first to break ranks. High Archon, if these projections are accurate, our military would face real challenges coordinating with Republic industrial operations. It would be ... unworthy test of our capabilities. Industrial Coordinator Melax nodded slowly. Prime Minister, the efficiency gains alone would justify extensive cooperation. And with crystalline military protection, our industrial assets would be completely secure. Captain Chen sensed the shifting mood and pressed her advantage. Terran Defense Solutions proposes to facilitate this partnership as ongoing security consultants. We would coordinate joint operations, handle logistics, and provide neutral mediation for any disputes that arise. The contracts you've already signed with us could be restructured as a single cooperative agreement, Admiral Rodriguez added. Same total compensation, but supporting both your objectives simultaneously. High Archon Zephyr exchanged a long look with General Thane, communicating through subtle color shifts in their crystalline skin. Prime Minister Korax consulted his advisors through rapid-fire industrial cant that sounded like machinery grinding. When both leaders spoke again, it was in unison. What are your terms? The negotiation that followed lasted 18 hours and covered everything from resource allocation percentages to military command structure protocols. Dr. Vasquez proved invaluable in translating concepts between the two alien cultures, while Admiral Rodriguez worked out the practical details of joint fleet operations. Commander Thompson presented tactical scenarios that excited both sides' military commanders, while Captain Chen handled the business aspects with the skill that had made her reputation. When the final agreements were sealed, both alien fleets had transformed from opposing forces into cooperative partners. The 7 contested star systems became the foundation of the most successful joint mining operation in galactic history. Word of the human achievement spread quickly through diplomatic channels. Within 6 months, Terran Defense Solutions received contract inquiries from 12 different sector conflicts. The humans had established themselves not just as skilled mercenaries, but as the preferred mediators for seemingly impossible diplomatic situations. Captain Chen's final report to Earth Command noted that sometimes the best way to win a war was to convince everyone involved that they had better things to do than fight. The technique became known throughout human space as Chun's Gambit, and it established humanity's reputation as the species that could find profitable solutions to any problem. The galaxy was full of conflicts waiting for creative resolution, and humans had proven they were uniquely qualified to provide it.